There's been this discussion recently about human progress and where are things headed. There's just so much going on in the world, and it really causes to question sort of the stability of our civilization and how close we are to it being destabilized. But that also begs the question of what is progress? What is human progress? How do you measure that? And oftentimes I ask myself this all the time, like, are we in the greatest age of human history? Like, it's interesting to me that many of us spend thousands of dollars a year to travel to Europe to see old structures that are truly beautiful. Like, we just want to be somewhere where there's this old, beautiful architecture. Was that the golden age? You know, it's interesting when Christ arrives in the world. Why was it during the Roman period? Why was it during this age of civilization when architecture was a certain way or philosophy was a certain way? It's difficult to know. It's difficult to measure and to determine what metrics are most important. I do think that in 2024, we oftentimes do get caught up in trying to correlate success and progress with technological progress. Now, certainly technology is super cool, but it's not necessarily the goal. It's a means to an end, technology. And, when you start playing this out as far as it can go, right, where not only do we replace the need for our legs to take us places with cars, or with our ability to wash our own dishes with dishwashers, or, to help those that are sick with medication, which of course is great. If you take this as far as you can go, you have to start asking yourself, like, what the hell is the goal? Is the goal so that you don't have to leave your bed? So that you can just watch endless amounts of Netflix and be entertained? Or be given drugs to feel euphoria? Like, it really is a question of how does work fit into technological progress as technology prevents us from needing to work. And I thought this was interesting. There's this comparison sometimes of the Garden of Eden being this perfect place where there was no work and there were no children. And then once the fall occurred, women were mandated to have children and men were mandated to work. Of course, this is said in an ideal sense. It's interesting to me that with technology, we're trying to get rid of the need to work, and many of us don't have kids. And so you almost wonder, like, when God told us, hey, now you're going to have to work, and now you're going to have children, like, was that a punishment, or was that the pathway to healing? And what happens when we get rid of that stuff now that we're in the fallen world? With that said, though, there's only one place I know as a physician where all of your needs are taken care of night and day, everything. And that is an intensive care unit. You have IV fluids, you have tubes going to your stomach to help you, to get you fed. You have ventilators helping you breathe. You get pain medication. Someone's there to clean you, to wash you. It costs, by the way, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a day. But that, in my mind, guys, cannot be the epitome of human civilization. Like, it cannot be the goal. The goal of America, the goal of civilization in 2024 is not to put all human beings in a self-made intensive care unit bed that is implanted in your home, where every physiological process is outsourced to technology, so that we can lay there in a giant glob of muck and watch films. And maybe there won't be films, maybe it'll be video games. But at some point, like, we just have to understand that, like, the technology wasn't the goal. It was a means to a goal. And I think that's why we come back to things like fasting, where we self-impose discipline and a paradigm of work that brings meaning to our lives as we get rid of the tragedies. Let us never get rid of challenges. Let us only get rid of tragedy. There's a very distinct difference. And I think we should welcome challenges, and we should try to do them so that we forego the need to have tragedies, so that rather tragedies do not result. And I think this is a key point to recognize. So by all means, let's move forward with our progress. Let's embrace technology, but it's not the end goal in of itself. Our goal is not to be in ICU beds in our homes, to play video games where we never achieved anything in reality, to watch pornography and never actually hold a woman, to look at children but never have them on their own, to talk about careers and get educated but never actually act on the knowledge that we've gained, and to put in the work to manifesting all of that potential into something real. It's a sober conversation, but it's a real one. We got to really make sure that the tools aren't using us